Perfect timing.
Blowing the nose right when we start. Hey, everybody. Welcome. It is March 15th. This is Shawn.
2026. I'm Shawn.
I'm Delaney. I'm his daughter. We're part of Yeshuans.
How you doing?
Good. What's Yeshuans again for anyone who's new?
Yeshuans. What is it? It is an online educational platform. It's an approach. It is a deodorizer that hangs in any car of any person that says, I just want to walk in faith and love. Don't tell me what my faith should be based on. Just let me walk in faith and love. And we side with you. Of course, we believe that this was all possible by Christ and the fulfilled work he brought to the earth, but you can differ with that too. We just want there to be unity in faith and there to be an attempt to love. Attempt.
You can, this is our weekly hour where you can call in 220-222-4686, text that, the number's on the screen, or you can chat in the chat. Right now it's just Sarah who says, nice beanie. Did someone crochet that for you, Shawn?
Yes, my little granddaughter Ava, she knitted this for me. No, I found this in my drawer and I couldn't find my standard, so I just thought I'd wear this. It kind of goes along with my vibey knitted crochet like granola peace, love, kumbaya understanding.
Okay, so there's a handful of questions this week and we'll get to them. Do you have anything to start before we do?
I just want to start one thing. We have somebody who lives here in the state of Utah. I'm going to hold this up, and this is a mailer he got, and it says there on the mailer, Gathering Israel, has a picture of Jesus on the front, and it says, the gathering has begun. Join it. That's what's in there. And you turn it around, and it says, it's time.
Oh.
And what is it? It says, we connect people with missionaries from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They're calling this Gathering Israel. Mormons believe that they are the new Israel and that they have brought the real Israel to the earth. It's not what Paul says, that we are Israel by faith. It's Israel by membership, and they have supplanted what the Jews lost. And this is what we're fighting against. This is the tactic they use to haul people in and put them in bondage. That infuriates me.
That is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
You'd think that sometimes I go into thinking the eschatological views of people are lower than other things and it's not that important. And then stuff like this happens and you're
it's
like,
so
oh
important.
My gosh.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
Yeah.
Well,
absurd. And by the way, the greatest television program ever created on the idea of absurdity is none other than Green Acres. And everybody should watch Green Acres to see what absurdity is all about.
All right. I haven't watched Green Acres.
Oh, well, we'll have to do that together, Delaney.
Okay. Yeah, Sarah says, oof, textbook cult recruiting.
Yeah.
Okay. So a few questions from this week. Let's just start with on your Matthew 4:17 verse by verse teaching. Oh wait, so this is a long one. We'll start with the start. Just say you're sorry for wronging someone. Don't tell God. Tell God, don't tell them. You don't have to apologize to a person you hardly ever see because you wronged them, but you liked them. They liked you. You have guilt, wrong them. You can never make it right. Only through Jesus can you hand them joy. Imagine how many times you've been wronged by single serving friends that gave you up to Satan. It goes on. They realize they suck because they became Christian. Anyway, on apologizing, is that what the topic is that he's trying to comment on, it seems like?
Seems like it. I don't know. I take what Yeshua said, and he said, agree with your adversary quickly. So, why not take the hit? Paul criticized the early saints for suing each other and not working it out between themselves. I just think it's always a great policy to try to practice peacemaking when possible.
Yeah. I've heard people say that they think apologizing is self-serving, though. Like, it's for you to feel better.
It really can be. And that's why there's discernment of the spirit that's necessary, and not some hard and fast rule. When I was under a therapist's care years and years ago, I thought that I was going to go around and apologize to all these people I had hurt. And her thing was, you just might bring up something they've already dealt with, and that's kind of self-serving.
Yeah. Like they're hurt by it. Yeah. They don't want to have to face it again.
Yeah. And you are doing something to appease your.
Yeah.
So I get what that comment means. And just, hey, trust God, be sorry in your heart.
Yeah. Well,
we had a lady see us the other day in a restaurant, Delaney and Larry and I, and and Ava, and the first thing she said was, I think I owe you an apology. And, it was kind of that thing right then and there, wasn't it? She wanted to feel better about sitting in the same restaurant area with us. So
yeah, the first thing, when there had been years of no apology, but
yeah, and suddenly she sees. So there is a lot of truth to the idea that we serve ourselves with apologies.
Okay. On that same teaching said, correction, Israel is not that Jewish. It is secular, the state of Israel, not the spiritual Israel. That is you and me. We are Israel. We are not Israelis. Would you agree with that?
Oh, totally.
Okay.
Yeah, Israel today, you're absolutely. But even back in Yeshua's day, it was almost secular.
Okay. From when the sun goes down on our Hebrews chapter 12, they said, what do you all think of this verse, Matthew 24:19, and woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days? She said, do you think this might be connected with Abba taking kids under a certain age back to heaven before the tribulation starts? Of course, as there is no pre-trib rapture.
I think that that Yeshua is clearly telling them, he says, you better hope. He said, I don't know when the day is coming, but you better hope it doesn't come in winter. You better hope it doesn't come on a Sabbath day when the gates of the city are closed. And you better hope that, if you're a woman who has a child, that you're not breastfeeding, because you're going to be running for the hills and trying to escape. That's what I think it means.
Okay. Let us continue on the Hebrew clip of talking about Hebrews shutting down Mormonism claims to priesthood. Nothing is fake. Having been raised in a completely different religion, finding the gospel of Jesus Christ ordained to the priesthood. I have hundreds of personal experiences with the priesthood. It's not fake if you have faith. How do you respond to something like that?
I say that it's not your priesthood that's doing jack. I say it's God acting on behalf of those who he deems necessary to act. And what you're saying is your priesthood is a clear indictment on your idolatry, that you give credit to experiences with the priesthood as if that is your power. Dude, your priesthood doesn't mean jack relative to a contextual understanding of Hebrews. It is it is fake. And if you have miracles and signs and wonders through that thing, my question would be, who's giving them to you?
Yeah. I struggle sometimes with articulating a response to appeals to experience, because that's what we're so grounded in, is the fact that that's reality, and the fact that we have had experiences. Like, it's really hard. What is your perspective on that?
I'd say you got to be very careful if you place a lot of attention on experiential verifications. There are forces, there are darknesses, there are angels of light. Apparently, I don't know if they're still working. There are our own desires. There are things we want to see fulfilled. There is what we eat that day and how it's energized us. And I think that is all what religion plays to. They play to experience, emotionalism. It's very much of this world. And I think that you have to truncate that with the spirit of truth, which is love, with an understanding of the text.
So it's so funny because they appeal to their experience, but they hate people that are like, I'm a woman, I was born in a man's body, or like they hate those appeals to experience and to call them mental disorders. But so what do you say about your experience on the road? I've heard, I was just going over an interview you did, and you say the thing you do know is the proof of it. It's like, I was once an effer and now I'm not an effer anymore. It's the result of it in your life is what you know, not the experience itself. Is that right?
Yeah. And so while I was overjoyed personally with the experience, that's what a human would do when they have some kind of interaction with God. But the interaction and the overjoyed is experienced by Muslims and Buddhists and Hindus and everything. They are exultant in their relationship with God. And we would say, no, they can't, So experience is just a cheap fix to convince ourselves that something's true. Yeah. And I just have learned over the course of my life that it is the place where you can be preyed upon more by religion than anything else, is through emotions, experience, what you felt, what you saw. And I've been subject to that. I've fallen prey to that too. I thought that I was certain that I knew, and you can really be beguiled by that.
Yeah. All we have evidence for is not evidence. All we see in terms of religious experience is that there's a million of them. In different places. Yeah.
William James and the Varieties Religious Experience. Exactly. And so that's my question always. Well, why is yours superior to the Muslim? So experience is a feeling, and it's like in the train of knowing. There is the facts. There's faith, there's facts, and there's feelings. That's the order. The faith is pulling the train, the facts support the faith, and the feelings are the caboose. But with religion and mystical, it's feelings first, faith second, and facts at the caboose. And that's how you have to try to analyze everything, is through the right order versus the reverse.
So when you're talking to an atheist, like on Anthony Magnabosco interview, and he's saying, this is just you, it's just your experience, you're arguing not for the feelings that you have, but for the facts of it in your life. But also that it's still subjective. Is that right?
Yeah, both. And that I can't tell you it's for you. I just can tell you, I was blind, now I see. That's what I told Anthony.
And that's not a feeling.
No, it's just, that's a great thing to point out, because seeing is a sense, but we see, but we don't feel. That's a great way to determine how God has changed you, is you see differently. You perceive and understand differently, but you don't feel it. When you see something, you don't feel anything by what you're seeing. You feel how you interpret it in your heart and all that, and it comes emotionally, but your eyes don't have feelings. That's a great way to discern between feelings and
so to someone here that's saying his personal experience with the priesthood, you don't think that that's them seeing something differently?
I don't judge it in terms of whether it's true or not. I just say it's an inferior way to assess truth. That's all. Because for their experiences with the priesthood, we have Jews who've had experience with the rabbi.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's not fake if you have faith. And that's kind of the problem with it, is that You can have bad faith,
Yeah,
which Jean-Paul Sartre describes, versus good faith. And what he's saying there is really inferior in terms of, not etymology, in terms of epistemology, how we know something. That is just, it's not fake if you have faith. Geez, then my faith is not fake if I worship a little jeweled demon.
Yeah. It's not every single person that has faith makes that claim.
Yes.
About their own theology.
Everybody.
I feel like more and more we're coming to the like idea of the plural one thing, where it's like the obvious condition is that people all say that. People all make their claims about. The problem is the tie to their material situation as the reason for it, rather than God in them being the reason for it. It's the priesthood is the reason for it. It's the Muslim community that's the reason for it. Sorry, getting a call here. Okay, so then let's move on to the next. Same person on that video said, then explain priesthood authority. John the Baptist had lineage from Aaron and Peter. John from Jesus, and lineage. I don't know what that means.
Why people make comments just can't. Okay, explain priesthood authority. All right, you've asked me to do it. I'm gonna do it really quickly. Jesus said John was the last of the law and the prophets. The last of the law and the prophets. John was from the tribe of Levi. John had the right as a Levitical priest to do what the last of the Levitical priests would do. Even Yeshua wasn't part of that priesthood line of authority. He was from the wrong tribe. The Levitical priesthood's the only priesthood that has to do with men. The Levitical priesthood was to operate in the temple of that time, at sacrificing animals and taking donations and doing the work of that temple. That was what that priesthood was for.
We have a call here.
Okay.
If you want to, we'll continue that after.
Yeah.
Hey, you're live. Who's this?
Oh, I am? Oh,
yeah.
Alec, how are you guys?
Good.
How are you?
Who's this again?
Oh, my name is Alec.
Hey, Alec.
Hey, Alec.
Hi, guys. So I've been doing a lot of like YouTube call-in YouTube call-in lives recently, and I think it's just a really cool way for everyone to talk about, the truth, whether it be like atheists who have their views or theists, which I am myself, and a believer of Christ. And I think it's an awesome way to share the gospel, and I really applaud you guys.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Alec.
Thank you so much.
So here's the thing that might make me a bit of a wild card on pretty much any channel is I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, often commonly and pejoratively known as Mormons.
So we used to be too. I'm not sure if you know that.
Oh, I have no idea. Both of you?
Yeah.
Okay, so are you now Trinitarian then?
No.
No. Oh, good, because that's the thing that really kind of convinced me out of those other faiths, because, the Lord says in John to the woman at the well, you worship you know not what, we know what we worship. And when I go onto other YouTube lives and they're talking about the Trinity, I try to ask them what is God, and they kind of, they try their very best, but they usually go back to the creed where they usually reference an essence connecting the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. Or maybe I could ask you guys what you think our God is.
That's a really good question. We interpret God through the Scripture and not through the teachings of man. And the Scripture says that in the beginning, God, plural, that was plural, created man in his own image, male and female created he them. And so I suspect that the best definition of God is one perfect plural of masculine and feminine perfection. And we should get away from the persons discussion that the Trinitarians brought into the game and all of that malarkey. Simultaneously, just because you've told us you're LDS, Alec, I would strongly suggest that Yeshua knew what he was talking about when he says no man has seen God at any time, and not offset that with the version of Moses saying that he saw God speak with God face to face was entirely a Hebraism.
A Hebraism, then. So when Jacob saw him at Peniel, you also equate that to a Hebraism.
All I know is I trust Yeshua's words, and he said, no man has seen God. God is a spirit. I represent the invisible God, the consuming fire, and God is not a man, and et cetera, et cetera. So I think that while I think you're wise, and your prophet was wise to talk about why we're not Trinitarians recently, I think that you went from the frying pan to the fire when you essentially took Joseph's version of seeing God in the sacred grove, and ultimately coming to the fact that they were two separate and distinct beings in a body of flesh and bone. I'm sorry, brother. That harkens right back to Platonic ideals of forms.
Actually, Neoplatonism usually meshes them together, is from what I understand.
Yeah.
Neoplatonism was the 3rd, 4th century.
I understand it differently. I just finished a book on the Trinity called A Better Trinity, and I think that both views were the product of men trying to make sense. I think that Joseph Smith had a lot of insights on things the Christian community could learn from, but not the person of God. I'm sorry, I can't buy that one.
Okay, so if I may ask, then, so would you say that the Old Testament is probably not as trustable then, in your view?
I don't. Trustable is a funny word. I think that there are mistakes in the scripture, and I think that's foolish to say there's not, but I don't think those mistakes are so large that it removes somebody from understanding essentially what God wants us to know about him, his son, and how to return to the kingdom.
Sure, certainly. So then if I could push it back a little bit on God being a man, I like how where the Savior says, or Yeshua, because that's the name I also prefer, because that's directly from the text, which I appreciate, where he said, his disciples asked him, show us the Father and we'll be satisfied, right? And he didn't say, he didn't start talking about essences. He didn't start talking about other forms of perfection or being itself, right? He simply said, have I been with you so long and you haven't known me? When you see me, you see the Father.
Yeah.
So, and Christ was a man when he said that. So he said, look at me, I'm a man. So you see me, I'm a man, you see the Father.
Dude. Yeah. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the innocency with which you speak. He said is he came in the expressed image of the Father. That's like a stamp. He was the one to reveal the Father. So that was a Hebraism to say, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. And he was a man when he said it, therefore God is a man. That is taking the through line of scripture from Genesis to Revelation and throwing it out the window for one reference that you use to build an argument. I cannot buy it. But let me say this. I welcome you to believe what you want. I receive you as somebody of faith. I don't judge you or condemn you for your faith. And if you want to believe that, you can. And, we just believe in faith and love. And we think that an LDS person who claims Christ, they stand before their maker and they're responsible before him. And I don't think you're any different than a Calvinist or a Buddhist or a Catholic or a Protestant.
I really appreciate that very much. Thank you.
I mean it.
I would give the exact same for you. And I mean it for you as well. Because I think that people should, because I actually believe that if someone prays to know, God, where would you send me? I don't think that every single person on earth will get the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, because the Lord wants us to accept whatever truth we're willing to. And if they're not willing to accept, the Book of Mormon, I believe he will say, you go and you join the Roman Catholic Church. You go and you join Buddhism or however, because he wants us to accept all the truth that we're willing to. That's my opinion there.
And I love that, and I respect it as a member of the church to share that, Alec. Unfortunately, when I went on my mission, we taught a very different story, and I went to a temple that taught a very different story. And there was no openness of other faiths there. It was they were all in the employ of Satan, and that none of them pleased God. So the narrative has changed. But I'm glad to hear a member share this open view, and I hope that Dallin Oaks shares it too someday.
So then it would go back again to priesthood authority on that one. But
well, only within your church. You guys claim the priesthood authority. You accept that as, yeah. So I would, if you want to believe that, have more power to you.
Sure. So then when Joseph Smith said that he would be willing to die for even the heathen's faith, I think that's one of the more early examples of openness in the church.
Well, I mean, that is an example of openness in the church, isn't it? But him excluding the blacks or Brigham Young excluding them later as a prophet, it just kind of negates that open shamanistic way that Smith had about him when he first started to form the church. When it became that you can only enter heaven by having the new and everlasting covenant, meaning that you practice plural marriage, that is very difficult, man. It's really difficult for this open kumbaya, you're all welcome bit. So I think that over time, the Mormon church tightened up its collar, said, we're the only true church. You cannot enter the kingdom unless you receive our baptism, to the present day where guys like Alec are open enough to say, I don't think God works that way. Thank him.
Well, I would say that the telestial and terrestrial are definitely kingdoms of glory. I think it's more of like definitional, where when they speak in that way, I think they're talking about exaltation and the celestial glory. Yeah. That's just me though.
Yeah, that's okay.
Because if you talk to like a Catholic and you tell them, hey, do you want to be as God is? Christ taught, be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. If you're perfect as God, that makes you godly. He even said to be godly. And in John 10:34, he said, ye are gods. And we offer them exaltation. They say no. And that's perfectly fine.
Alex, do you really think you can call in? I want to be respectful here, but do you really think you can call in to this show to a family that has been LDS, and we've done like hundreds of hours of shows and books about Mormonism, that I was in a bishopric and stake high council, a seminary teacher. Do you really think that you can come and you can drop these little breadcrumbs along the way without us having a solid response for you? Because what these are just foolish. They are just grasping, and I'm not being disrespectful to you. You have the right to believe as you want. Our job is to love you. But if you call into this show and you say, you drop these little one-liners and don't think there's a context to explaining them that's reasonable and contextual, it really surprises me at the chutzpah.
No, I understand, because people usually, when they read that, they go back to Psalms 82:6, and they say that he refers to judges, and I accept that interpretation, but I personally don't believe that we can change the word to judges, because that's not the word, but it's all right.
Well, see, you seem to be studied to show yourself approved, Alec, but here's something that's unique with us. We don't think that particles, doctrines, or articles of faith matter in this day and age. We believe that Christ came and took his bride as promised. There's no such thing as a Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He took his bride who is holy, pure, and without spot in that day as promised that he would, and that ever since God writes his laws on the hearts and minds of individuals. So there is no collective body necessary. There's no priesthood necessary. The veil was ripped in two, and we all have access to Christ directly without intervention from anything at all. So our position's very different and open. We don't care about doctrines. We don't even want to dispute with you on doctrines, because they do nothing but divide. You believe chocolate's a better ice cream. I believe vanilla. Have at it. But how can we agree, Alec? We can agree on what love looks like. And I think the LDS Church does a pretty good job of trying to show what love looks like.
True. Sorry, Deb. I usually go onto the YouTube lives to debate, so I apologize. I fell back in there.
I don't know what happened. Oh, you're just talking about our conversation?
Yeah, I apologize. I usually fall back on all the YouTube lives I've been on, and on Reddit. I usually get into debatey mindset, so I apologize.
If you really want to have a conversation, Alec, we invite you to come on our Heart of the Matter show, which we air every Tuesday night. And you have access to an audience that used to be vast. They still tune in when and we'll sit here. If you're in Utah, I think it's a Utah number, and we'll talk, and I'll go into every answer you want for every one of those things. We welcome you to come and do that.
Okay, I'll look into that for sure then, because I have a lot of time at the moment. I'd be happy to.
All right.
That'd be great.
That'd be great, Alec.
Where should I look it up on, like, your channel description, or?
Yeah, go. You can. Are you looking at us from Instagram right now?
No, but I have Instagram. I found you guys on YouTube.
Oh, good. Yeah, just YouTube. You can email me if you want, or you can comment on our YouTube, and I'll send you my email through the comments if that works.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. Thanks.
Great to talk to you, Alec.
I'll let you guys go. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for yours, my friend. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Lord loves you. See ya.
Okay,
See ya.
thank you. Bye-bye. Nice of him to remind us the Lord loves us. Lord loves him too. Lord loves you.
It's really interesting what the internet has done to, I don't know how old Alec is, but we're involved with these college kids now, and they're like, there's a debate mode.
Yeah.
They're in debate
mode.
They go
into this debate mode.
There's like YouTube or social media debate.
I don't even know how to debate.
I know. That's what I think I'm just realized here. Officially, he confirmed that that's what the Ratio Christi kids are doing. They come in with debate mode.
Wow.
They're coming, and there's like, I stand there and start crying in front of them because it's so real to me. And they're just like, what? We're debating. Is that loving, Shawn? Like, that was so hurtful to me, but he's just in debate mode.
Wow.
And he was like, oh, I apologize. Like, I'm in debate mode.
So we go down the same road that they've gone all the time in arguing and debating different things in debate mode.
Yeah, but they don't understand what everyone else in the world, that's what they're showing Christianity is. Yeah. On social media, that's all they do. And that's the demonstration of Christianity to the world. And it's no skin off their back. They're like, oh, I'm in debate mode. But everyone else is like, you guys are the worst people I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I get it.
That's what's going on. It's true. It's interesting that he
sounded like he was probably like 22 or 23.
Yeah. It's very big with that age. They all have their own platforms and debate each other.
He's very well spoken and he's very good at debate. Like,
he was ready for the answers. He was ready for the same answers that they're all giving.
He didn't even have to think because he had something there.
Because he knew what you were going to say based on what Christians are all saying, the same stupid
Which is why we
shit.
stopped it short and said, look, okay, this back and forth is not what we do.
Yeah. Welcome to, that was youth.
And you know what that was? That's called from Sartre, called that bad faith.
Yeah.
Because you don't go in to learn, you go in to control and win. Mm-hmm. That's bad faith.
Which is what all Christians are doing.
We need to change that, sister.
Yeah. It's what social media asks of a creator. Like, it requires you to be that. So all the theologians, all these stupid guys that people are sending to us all the time, Wes Huff, Dan McClellan, these guys, they are training that in men and women, but like men are always the ones doing it. And to see a question and give a very philosophically articulate answer back in debate mode perpetually on social media. That's all anyone's doing.
And so I got news for you. Here's a prognostication from your old man who looks like a troll today. The Christians are too lazy, too dogmatic to ever compete in the long game with the fervor and zeal of devoted LDS men and women. They study, they go to seminary, they know their stuff, and they have now cut their teeth on these abilities to argue. So they're going to grow if people are convinced through argumentation. Because they have answers that the dumb, unprepared, dogmatically driven Christians stand by.
Yeah, it's true.
And it will never work. We will never win until we say, this is not the game we play.
That's not the game.
I know.
Yeah. Like, the Mormons commenting on our stuff are just like, LOL, people love to talk about us. Like, it is no problem to them.
Yeah, they're getting an identity in this. They're going to grow from it.
Yeah.
It's where's Jesus, man? Where is our love for him and the truth?
Yeah. He was a convert though. I don't know if you caught that, or maybe I misheard it. But
I didn't catch that, but I would really like to talk to him now.
I know. I'm pretty sure he said that he used to do that, and then he found the truth in the church.
I thought that was a text we read.
Oh, maybe
I could be conflating them, love.
Oh, so they are on in the chat.
Who is?
Oh, this is him.
Band I love called the Chats.
The Chats. Oh.
Jeff Day Poppy. Hi there, friends. Hey, Jeff. Latter-day Saints have logical answers.
Oh, this is Alec. This is who just called.
Oh, Alec?
From Agony to Light.
Yep, publicly. Yep, LOL.
He's 33.
Oh.
Wow, you sound younger than that.
That's from not smoking, Alec. You have a nice, clear voice. It's none of that drunken brawling stuff. I was born in the church, but I became an agnostic atheist. Me too. Me too, Alec. Hey, listen, you're on there with some really good people. Sarah Young, and she'd be really good to talk to. And so would Jeff, because Jeff's been LDS and he understands a lot of things I don't even understand about Judaism and stuff. So, Alec, you should talk to them and see where all your stuff goes. And it would be good for someone in our group to engage with the Latter-day Saint. I'm grateful that you're reaching out. Yeah. I don't want to debate you, but I want to talk to you about good faith, love, and all the other things.
This is on Instagram. It doesn't show on the chat stream here, but someone said over 40,000 Christian, different denominations, lots of different theology. Love is the key. Love creator, love neighbor.
Amen. Amen. Whoever wrote that, we are with you. That is what we are calling people to do, to come out in love.
Yeah. 100%.
Wanting to look at Judaism. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, he really knows his stuff, Jeff Day Poppy, or Jeff Poppy Day.
By the way, Jeff just shared, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but he just shared
Oh, sorry, Sarah. Go ahead.
He's on a different channel, but it should be showing on the screen. You guys can see each other's comments. Jeff just wrote a first chapter of a book on tithing.
Wow.
And he shared that we have helped him think about tithing in a different way, and I'm curious to see what he's come to realize.
I would love, Jeff, if you're willing to let us post it on the Yeshuan site wherever we've done that. Delaney knows how to do that.
Yeah.
As a Yeshuan contribution. I don't care what your stance is. I think that all takes are important to be heard.
That sounds good. Okay. Let me move on to some other comments.
I would like to ask Sarah Young. Sarah, did anything happen with the teaching at that one church today? They were going to talk about how to deal with unruly women.
Yeah, we saw that someone is really devoted to dangerous women. He must be kind of scared of them.
He must be. Anyway, give us an update, Sarah, if you have the time. But I think From Agony to Light is talking to you guys. I guess you can see that. I think I am like informing people of something they don't know.
There is my email, Alec. We'd love to have you on the show that we do. Okay.
Oh, okay. Their service isn't until 4 p.m, so going to coincide with the Oscars. The Epic of Gilgamesh shuts down Genesis.
Yeah, that was also when we're saying Mormon, Hebrew shuts down Mormonism claims to authority. They're like, well, the Epic of Gilgamesh shuts down Genesis.
Got it.
What do you say to that?
I say that. So they say what, Delaney?
They're like, your reference to the Bible gets shut down by previous text before that. That just. They copy basically.
So look I get the arguments. I understand the myth of Lilith and the Gilgamesh things and the different flood accounts and the different accounts of Satan and the different gods who are coming forth to die for mankind.
Yeah,
they're strewn throughout Greek everything. Yeah. Okay. In like Mesopotamia before Babylon, all of
like the archetype of the whole Bible story is a copy.
To me, I have a choice. I can say, okay, we borrowed from it.
Mm-hmm.
It was there because it was a big lie, or it was there because it was true, and the principles of it were true with that, and the principles of it would be true with God.
Mm-hmm.
Or I say it's all a fraud. Mm-hmm. Okay? You decide which way you want to see it. It's up to you what you're trying to find in things.
Yeah.
I could believe any three of those.
Mm-hmm.
I choose to believe that there is overlap in this world of themes, Jungian themes, and that flood accounts are indicative of other types of COVID floods, and there's all these pictures and types.
Yeah.
So I do not let something like that move me at all. What would move me more would be if someone I love was taken and tortured and brutally brutalized forever, and then I got to them and they were able to tell me exactly the horror they went through, and then I would have such a hard time to understand what God was doing. I know we live in our old world. I know we have, but a test of that would cause me to start to get break.
Yeah.
But information, you choose to decide what you want. Yeah. Bottom line.
Which is like, it seems like that goes to show your stance on the Bible.
Yeah.
Like you're not, it's not going to make or break you if the Bible is like this or that, like, because it's not your freaking idol.
Yeah. And so what does that do for you when you don't let it be your idol and someone comes up and says, look at this word's different?
That's the problem with someone thinking God is in the material, because then once the material is disproven, God's disproven.
That's right.
And so someone leaves religion and God goes with it. And it's like, that is the most childish thinking.
That's why it's so important for people to cut their teeth on what's real faith rather than religion, which is why we've gone to bat for this. We're not doing it because we want to create an empire.
Yeah, no one.
We're doing it because it helps people.
Yeah,
it really does.
Yeah.
So anyway, Gilgamesh, I've heard them all. Oh, I've heard a lot of them, and you know, it could be also that God said the demons that were in charge of the world, and they were angelic, according to Heiser, maybe they had information, knowledge that they were secretly giving, and maybe they influenced these myths to come about before the real thing as a means to cause doubt. I know that's a stretch. I don't think that's what happened, but there's always possibilities.
Yeah, 100%. It's like the Bible, at the very least, is an incredible thing to learn from. At the very least, you can learn how to love, and it's great for that. Maybe the Epic of Gilgamesh is too.
Yeah.
Probably not in the same way.
Yeah, I think God will use the Epic of Gilgamesh for people who believe in Gilgamesh to help them come to a better understanding and then move them along toward the ultimate destination, which is free and his son.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm becoming so liberal in my days, the longer I live, of just being like.
But my question for you in the face of all that, because I feel the same the further into it we get, and it's like, we're called Yeshuans though. Like, I would still argue that Yeshua and the story of that is more productive than the others. Maybe, like, because we're getting into a point where it's like, maybe you don't need to know Yeshua. You know, we go into that.
Yeah, this is good. We should talk about this. So Yeshuans, to me, refers to our foundation that is always there. That's why we call ourselves by his name.
Yeah, but like we if it is the material fact that Christ wasn't God and the Bible doesn't say is incorrect, and it was other gods before the Bible and all this stuff, like, and we aren't idolaters of the Bible, so we don't attach ourselves to it. Like, Yeshua goes out the window in that case. Do you get what I'm saying?
I do, but that there's a difference between talking about sharing what we believe with
and
others.
being open to them believing.
Yeah, and then being open to what they're going to believe and what we stand our beliefs upon. We know as Yeshuans, hence the name, what we stand upon.
Mm-hmm.
That's built in, and so we don't have to re-explain it. We might mean someone who's just full of, I just love God.
Mm-hmm.
I've always loved God. And really, yeah. And then you find out as you get to know them, they love other people too.
Mm-hmm.
And they really are devout. If they see you and they respect you, they can ask about Yeshua and you could share that and they would understand where their basis comes from. Or they just keep living in the fullness of Yeshua and his name isn't even needed. He is God now, all in all. There's no need for that link to be known, in, is what I'm saying, in every case like we used to do. You've got to say the name. I think it is great when you base it on him. I think it builds your faith really strongly downward, right? And so we're afraid that if someone just builds on the spirit upward, they're going to be weak and they're going to be, but I think that they are as strong as those of us who have cut our teeth on the word. That's how powerful the spirit of Christ is. It reigns and not the Bible. Does that make sense?
Yeah. There are people like, I don't know, spiritualists out there saying something similar. It's like God is the source and that like Yeshua is like a metaphor for understanding love and whatever. Like,
okay.
You know.
So let me just go backward with you on that. Let's say that one of those people, sorry, my mouth is dry, his dad and mom were partiers. And then that girl was raised on atheism. And that a Christian man came over one day and molested her or whatever. And they grow up with that backstory. Mm-hmm. And then they get to the place where the only thing they can really manage about life is what they say. Mm-hmm. But in terms of faith in some kind of God and real love, I feel so bad for those animals, those babies, those women. They really do want to love. And then they're also really selfless. They are his. Versus someone who's cut their teeth for the perfect life and comes out snotty and snooty and judging. See, this is the shift, and it's very hard to believe because it's frightening. It's frightening.
I believe it. It's like, I think I'm just trying to figure out the fact that we posit the philosophical premise that it's literally that the Bible was a literal historical thing.
Yes.
And that Christ was God, that there was like a historical basis for this open thing where like, that's what's so unique about it. And it's really hard because the natural like 2026 way to understand things is like you're one or the other. It's like either it was literal and it happens this one way, or it's like open and it happens another. So
I think the Yeshuan approach is breaking both of them up, blowing them apart, and has said, we get it. This is how.
It's so
and I attribute that to God.
I do too.
Not to me or you.
No one, it's so lost on people to reference the Bible, to believe it historically and all this stuff, and then also be like, it could be disproven by the Epic of Gilgamesh. I don't know. Yeah, and like it's both. It's like
because
both.
we don't worship that damn book.
I know.
We let the spirit, because we've seen what happens when people worship the book. They fight with each other. They're unloving. They start practicing polygamy. They think that women should be killed for aborting. They become nuts. So we've seen that. Mm-hmm. So that's how it works.
It just is hard to articulate. People.
Do you think it came out in this conversation?
Yeah,
and I'm so glad that we recorded it because we have this to now. This is what we were talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
Do we have any other callers? What are you guys doing? Sleeping?
They're talking to each other.
Gee, I subbed the guys. I'm going to try. I guess you're not supposed to read them like this, are you?
No. They're talking to each other.
Can we talk about something inflammatory just to get the phones maybe going?
Sure. We have 8 minutes.
Okay. Well, in LA, there is a radio station called K-Rock, and it was from K-Rock. I learned about punk when I was like whatever, 1976, 77. But anyway, K-Rock had a guy on it, and his name is Adam Carolla, and he used to call into the KROQ as a certain character, and from him doing that, he got his career. And he was on the Man Show with what's the guy who hosts the biggest talk show at night now? Jimmy Kimmel. He and Jimmy Kimmel had a Man Show, they called it. Anyway, Adam Carolla is very, very outstandingly bold in his talk about women. He's the opposite. He's the opposite of political correctness or being woke. And he's come up with a term, and he explains it, he calls it gynofascism.
Is that feminism for him?
What gynofascism is, it's based off, and it's not pejorative. He says women are made and wired differently than men. Men want to do the thing. Women, they have to talk about the thing. Because if they talk about the thing in their mind, it becomes clear through the process of talking. That's how women work. So he goes, let's look at some of the mayors and governors that we've had come over the biggest cities in America. He says before, when it was this male, they said, we're going to put up freeway through the middle of Los Angeles. Boom. It was underway. It was getting done. It was just do it, do it, do it. He goes, we got what's her name in now. They can't even make a decision on who cleans a park.
Wow.
He says because they have committees upon committees upon committees. They talk, and finally they will be willing to pull the trigger. And he calls it gynofascism because it's the way that they control things as women. And so it's changing our world. He's not saying it's bad, but it's changing our world.
It is changing the world, maybe for the better.
I'm not saying it's not for the better.
Who the hell wants a freeway just right through the middle of a city when that is not how freeways are supposed to work?
I am not saying that men's way is better. He's just talking about a shift in the way it happens. And so therefore, men have to start to adjust and become different. We've been talking about the feminization. The rise up of the female is huge. I just saw the new Dime coming out. You know who's on it? A woman.
Really?
Yeah, a woman.
That's cool. Who is it?
I forget her name.
I mean, to put fascism in there is probably an incorrect
that's where he's a little bit edgy.
Of it.
a little bit edgy. I want to hear it.
Sarah says that's why men and women should work together. It's true.
Ooh, that is true. I have never had a better work partner than my wife. When we have a project to do, she and I see that in Larry, and I see it in all my children. I see it in Sarah and Joe. You as a team, you make the best balance, man.
Yeah. Well, it's true. Like a team of all women would do it in a very specific way, in one direction, and it's not necessarily better.
Yeah.
Like it should be but yeah, like.
And Mom and I have noticed that on Survivor, they're not married couples, but the teams that are two women and even the teams that are two men always do worse than the team of a woman and a man.
Oh, wow.
Almost always.
That's interesting.
Because two men, they war with each other for control.
Yeah.
And two women are passive, and so neither controls, and it doesn't work. But when you get the mix, and it's just amazing how you can get a girl who really cannot even run and another normal guy, and they can do better than two muscle-bound guys.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. It's God's way. I love that way.
Yeah.
It's not against people who are same-sex attracted. If you have that plight in your life, if you have that way, if you rejoice in it, that's between you and your maker. We don't judge you, and I find it be very hard to do that if you really didn't. I don't know. But bottom line, we're just talking about a way where things tend to work better in families and life.
Yeah. I have to think about this.
Yeah, she's being wise. I just maybe in this world threw myself under a bus, but
no, I'm just thinking talking through things is needed sometimes and it's not in others. That's the whole thing.
So you need men
putting
and women.
A freeway through a city, it might need some talking through. And
it's like Maybe we should have talked more before bombing that country for having weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, like, and then
I get it.
posting
I'm not saying Corolla was indicting it. It's just we have a shift going on.
Well, using the word fascist for it is.
You know what I think else contributed to this shift? That fascist is totally Adam Carolla trying to stir up trouble.
Yeah,
totally.
It's funny,
but liberally, I think what's happened is in the Victorian era and over the course of history, women have been sexually repressed, and they have been under the thumb of men, and marriage was a certain way. And with the advent of the internet and pornography, and women waking up and finding out that men are dumb, and that they're capable and that they aren't to be relegated to a corner, and all of these liberations that women have experienced, they realize, I really don't need a guy. I really don't. You know, and I think that has happened, and so men are having to decide, okay, how are we going to adjust?
Yeah, exactly. Because they're lonely. Saying. Like the male loneliness epidemic is because it's not brought on by you. It's not your fault. It's not men's fault.
No, it's just our contribution to it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of like a crying going on rather than an acting to adjust to the situation.
Oh, I see. They're being babies about
it. And so then Calvinists are like, we are men and this is how it is, and we're taking it back, and they're like putting a collar around women and dragging them back into the way it was.
And so as Yeshuans, because that's the context from which our family speaks, our job is to help empower women to the fullest extent and help empower men in the same.
To the fullest extent.
So that they work in that weak and strong way that they both have in different ways to make the team. See, and that creates the unity God wanted with men and women to begin with. And if men and women had that unity to start with, we wouldn't have the divorce rates or any of the stuff that we have going on in marriages today.
I feel like it's been a pendulum thing where, you know, women have been in a insecure place for a long time and overswung, and there's a lot that are too far on the other side. And there was a time that had to happen where voices needed to be heard against the patriarchy and stuff. The patriarchy still exists, but like it's becoming a thing now where we need to like move forward and like lift both up and get everyone healthy, because everyone is unhealthy.
That is so wise, and that kind of leadership in this arena is going to be really an important work of what we stand for, is understanding the genders, understanding relationships, families.
I'm not sure. We have a text question we should answer before we end, but and I'm not sure. I've wondered about you calling it a matriarchy for the future, like a feminine age, because that could be true.
I don't think matriarchy is any worse or better than patriarchy, and patriarchy's ugly.
Well, I would almost rather it be like neither, like a unity, or like an individuated
matriarchy. I'm a patriarchy.
Mappa.
A mappa.
Anyway,
just reinvent the whole English language.
AKA Blakestone, we are about to finish. I'm sorry you are late, but someone said, I've been doing a deep, good afternoon, Shawn and Delaney. Just a quick question. I've been doing a deep study on the Ethiopian Bible. Can you please give me your take or thoughts on this resource for truth?
You know what? I do not know anything about it other than it exists. And I would just say, you can hear Delaney's opinion, but the fact that it exists, it's relative to something that we really have gained a lot from as a people. That studying it and reading it could never do anything harmful. And whatever it turns out to be for you, that will be a benefit depending on what you want to get from it. So that's how I kind of see everything, that kind of approach.
Yeah, I like that. Do you know the distinction of why it's an Ethiopian Bible? Like what makes it different from a Bible we read?
It has to be from the proof texts that support the translation.
I see.
Somehow, whatever translations there was endemic to Ethiopia versus some of the other ones from Alexandria or wherever. So it's subtly different. It's probably much older than the earlier manuscripts, I'm guessing. But I don't know. I could be wrong on that.
I see. There was something you said that I wanted to end on, and now I can't remember. But
you know, if we just took a picture of you right there, snapshotted that, you look like a televangelist in front of a cross.
oh my gosh. Okay, we should wrap it on that. Sorry for my father, everybody. What did they call you?
Hey.
What were you called this morning?
I was called
Ayatollah.
Ayatollah. Peace unto you.
Is that from that one cult documentary? Oh, what I was gonna say is, have you all watched the show All Her Fault? It just came out with the girl from Succession and Dakota Fanning.
Ooh, is that a redhead girl?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I haven't watched it. It's on Apple, right?
Yeah, I haven't finished it, but it shows this man-woman. It shows really well how women feel about men in the way where you're talking, but in like a real way.
This is good stuff.
It's interesting.
This might be up for a Voxy.
Well,
this is my first hearing of it.
I don't know what Sarah says she's seen it. Don't tell me. I don't know what the general point they're gonna make is yet, but the inklings are interesting.
Okay, and then I have to say that the best series in terms of uniqueness, dialogue, acting, plot, and absolute crazed absurdity and just dead black humor is
Search Party
on Netflix. Start it, give it a chance. I promise you will be blown away by the arcs that they go to make this thing interesting. All right.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Love ya.
I'll talk to you later. Bye.
They should get a Voxy.